Hello traders, welcome. How are you? Trader Tom here from Simply Forex, and I am with you for the next 40 minutes. You know the drill by now. We are going to do the following, right? We're going to look at, well, I say look at trades. I'm not in anything currently, guys, right? So there's nothing, the only possible setup I'm seeing is Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar at the moment. So we'll take a look at that, but I haven't entered any new trades today. Also, guys, we will take all of your questions, like every single one. We will answer your questions. So don't be shy. Come in and ask a question. Say hello. Say, Tom, I love your purple background. Very nice. What else are we going to do? We've also got a poll. The editor has put a poll on for us. And the poll today is, let me just find it, is what initially inspired you to start trading? Mine was get me out of the corporate world and my 9 to 5 and dealing with morons. And the freedom that brings. I mean, ultimately it was freedom, right? To be my own boss, trade my own hours. That was the idea behind my trade. I just wanted freedom, guys, as I'm sure a lot of you do from your 9 to 5s. So that was my inspiration, and I apologize for anyone I've ever worked with. You're not all morons, just 95%, right? So yeah, that's what inspired me. Good question, editor. We like this poll. What else are we going to do? We are going to look at this at 1:15. We have ADP non-farm employment coming out as well, guys. All right, so we'll take a look at this and we will play Guess the News game. Woohoo! So we thank you, editor. On time as ever there. Synchronicity is the word I would use there. So yeah, we're going to do that, and we're going to look at the reaction on a couple of US dollar pairs and see what we think this news was. Better than expected, worse than expected, as expected. Right, let's see who is in the house first of all. I get a bit gangster when I'm on the live stream for some reason. Brett, hi Brett, how are you? Father Sunglasses, welcome back, Father Sunglasses. Lovely to see your face again. McFlave, Noor, how are you, mate? Hi guys, I'm seeing a lot of the VIP crew in. All right, so good to see you guys. Yeah, and Father Sunglasses, same, get out of the 9 to 5 unless you enjoy your 9 to 5. But I've met probably about 2 people in the history of my life that have enjoyed their job. Right, so yeah, there you go. Waswunio, how are you as well? Now, yeah, guys, don't be shy. Get all your questions into me. We can look at currency pairs, strategies, techniques, risk and money management, psychology, problems you're having, help you need, anything you like, guys. This is your time to ask. Colin is also here. I'm here, but on my motorbike. That must be dangerous, right? Looking at YouTube whilst on your motorbike. Yeah, just sort of. If you crash, we are not responsible. Editor, bring up a disclaimer quickly. All right, guys. So, yeah, let's just start with pretty much the only trade that I'm looking at. And it is Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, right? It was a trade at the start of the day. If we just look at the day chart. Right, we sort of, on the weekly chart, I was seeing some downward momentum, but it's broke to the upside. Right, we got this candle yesterday that broke these highs, and if we zoom in, right, it's broke back in. Actually, it's broke back into this larger channel, this larger trend line. It's firmly back in there. All right, so lots of reasons, yeah, to buy Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, right? Daily uptrend, bullish daily candle, broken a key resistance level, back into the trend line, right? We're looking to buy Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. Now, that's what I want to do, right? If we drop down to the H4, because my first target really would be this 1,000 psychological level, right? And really, I would be putting my stop down below here. So because of that, because I know my take profit and I know where I'd put my stop loss or hedge, whatever you use, I just need a retrace. And that's what I'm waiting for, guys, right? Because H4, you can clearly see is in this uptrend, really like this bullish candle. I just want a little retrace maybe into here, even a little bit of a deeper retrace, and then I will start buying Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. And that's pretty much all I'm waiting for, guys, right? We got the Canadian dollar pairs that I was interested in. So pound CAD, I'm still waiting for more of a retrace, right? And I'm not going to start selling that H4 candle. So this just needs to come further before I start selling. And Euro US dollar, right? I still like Euro US dollar. But again, you know, I need a little bit more of a retrace perhaps, yeah? You know, maybe more into here, moving average 20, and then I'm going to start selling. So, yeah, these are all the things I'm looking at. Pound Swiss franc, I'm also looking to buy this. But again, it's just nothing's really setting up. Okay, so we're kind of in this, yeah, this kind of, you know, downtrend really, guys, right? And this could be a good potential area for sells. So nothing's really setting up at the moment. Maybe when we get the US dollar news, right, something might set up on Euro US dollar. But yeah, this is where I'm at. I'm waiting for an Aussie dollar New Zealand pullback, really. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, guys. No new trades to enter. But what do you want to look at? Let me just bring up the live chat again, guys. Please give me any questions about anything to do with trading. And we've got one here from Brett as well. Hello, Greg. How are you, mate, as well? So Brett wants to look at the Aussie dollar, the Australian index. Okay, so let's take a look at that. I like looking at a new chart that's, you know, it's like new wilderness for me, new uncharted territory. So let's bring this one up. Okay, so it's Aussie dollar 200. Is that right? Sorry, it's this. There we go, the Australian index, Pepperstone. All right, so I love a fresh chart, guys, because we can look at this chart together and you can see how I plot support and resistance, how I'm looking for trend and structure, how I'm looking for levels of value, and, you know, this top-down approach as well, guys. So this is how I would roll with this index. Okay, so I'm just going to go for it, right? So what are we seeing? So let's remove drawings. Right, this is right. There was some resistance through here. Okay, and it's kind of held. There's another level through here. Right, so that's on the weekly chart, right? We've got this level through here, touch, 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 touch. Okay, and then we've got this level here, touch, touch. And really, this candle has closed back into these last highs. All right, however, you know, we are in an uptrend really, right? These lows in here never broke, and we're starting to get, you know, higher lows. But the highs, yeah, they're slowing down, right? This trend looks like it's slowing down to me on the weekly chart. So there's the weekly, right? And that's all I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for support and resistance. I'm looking for trend and structure, and I'm looking at candlesticks, okay? And now I'm going to do the same on each time frame. So if we drop down to the day chart now, I'm going to add a new area of resistance up here. And there's also a level through here. Right, that's what I'm seeing, guys. In fact, I'm going to remove this weekly level because it's almost become obsolete because of the day chart. Okay. Now, this is where we're at, right? So there's no getting away from the fact that weekly and daily are both in uptrends. Right? This is in an uptrend, as was weekly, but it's both of them have stopped making higher highs. Okay, and that's always a bit of a red flag for me. Okay, and we're getting a reasonable amount of sellers coming to the market. Okay, and obviously we had that, the Middle, what's going on in the Middle East. We had a lot of, drops in the indices, and we had strength in the flight to safety currency pairs, right, as a result of that. So what do I want to see? So for me, right now, this is between a rock and a hard place, a rock and potentially a hard place, right? So right now, I'm not seeing any potential trades or setups with the weekly and daily, right? So what would I want to see, right? I would want to see one of the following things happen, right? We get a bullish candle break these highs, something like this. If your candles look like that, report them to your broker immediately. Yeah, my drawing's getting worse, right? If you had a bullish candle like that, breaking these highs, that is a continuation of trend, and I would consider buying this pair. That would be a setup. Or if we got a breakdown in trend, right? If price did this, and then perhaps something like this, and we broke this area of support, right? And we got a bearish candle come down here, something like that. That's a better candle. That is better drawing, but worse coloring in. But yeah, if we got a break of this level, then I would consider selling it. So I foresee this happening, right? Until we get a winner or until we get a winner. Either buyers win, we get a break, we can start buying, or sellers win, we get a break, we can start selling. But I do not want to be in this price action because it's stopped making highs, right? So yeah, let's, like this, for example, right? This was in an uptrend. Okay, but yeah, okay. Let's just say this, right? And then when it breaks this high, right, with this candle here, then I'm interested again, right? And you get a retrace and you can come higher. Yeah, the last highs need breaking, and it hasn't broken here, right? Clearly hasn't. So for me, it's just to stay out. But let's carry on. Let's take a look at the H4. See what's, look at that. Just look at that indecision, right? The market doesn't know what to do with itself, right? You've got these, you've got sellers up here, you've got buyers in here. And this is reflected in this price action, right? So I would stay well clear of this, right? It's too scruffy. There's no clear direction. Stay out. All right. So, yeah, there's my analysis on Australian 200 index. What's it called? The Australian index. Like FTSE 100, the S&P, NASDAQ. Has the Australia index got a name? Does anyone know? Answers on a postcard. Right, so I hope that helps, Brett. Let's see who else. So McFlave wants to look at Euro US. Oh, should move a bit with the news. Okay, so McFlave, yeah, I agree. Michael, how are you? CJ. Right, we've just had the news. Okay, everyone's telling me news, right? So let's have a look at Euro US dollar. Right, let's play Guess the News game. Woohoo! Editor, sound effects. You know, we're like some of the comedy greats. We're like Morecambe and Wise, Laurel and Hardy. You know, some people have described me and the editor and our synergy. Oh dear, laughing at my own jokes. Right, pound, look, New Zealand US dollar. This is nothing's really happening, right? Suggesting a little bit of US dollar strength. Nothing much, nothing happening there. US dollar CAD. Very muted, right? Very muted response. Aussie dollar, US dollar. I mean, a little bit of US dollar strength, but I'm going to say the news was as expected. All right, so let's see if Sherlock Holmes strikes again. No, he was wrong. So it's better than expected, right? Okay, so and that's quite a big jump, guys, right? We've gone from 103 to 124 to 143, right? And this could be a good indication about non-farm payroll as well. So on the back of that news, right, we would be expecting some US dollar strength. And we're just not, we're not exactly seeing that, are we, right? It's not exactly herring down. And I'm interested in Euro US dollar, guys. So, yeah, we shall see. This is how potentially I'll trade this. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, guys, right? We've had positive US dollar news, which would suggest it wants to do this. But there's no value in here. I still need a bit of a retrace before it starts shooting down. Or the other thing I would consider is potentially this strength from that news carries on and we end up with a nice bearish candle like this. And then I would start selling from here, right? Stops above here and then take price back down to this level. So I would consider that as well. But let's be honest, nothing's happening on the back of that news. Let's go back to the H1. A bit of US dollar strength. Right, what else do we want to look at? So Say It With Stone would like to look at the dollar index. Okay, we can definitely do that. Okay, so we'll take a look at that in a minute, Say It With Stone. I'm just going to take Lee James's question here as well. So Lee James has said, Tom, do you think the rising price of oil will affect the monetary policy decisions of the Fed and other central banks? Now, that is an intelligent, fundamental macroeconomic question, right? And I'm sure that will come into the Fed and other central banks thinking, right? Just the Middle East conflict in general, right? And the effect it's having on oil, right? This will be part of external factors that central banks and the Fed take into consideration, right? But how they take it into consideration, you may as well just, flip a coin. The honest answer is you have no idea, right? Until there's a press conference or, there's an interest rate decision and then, Fed Chair Powell comes out and starts speaking and actually tells you the reasoning behind any decisions, then you are just blind to that macroeconomic news or the fundamental news, right? The truth of the matter is nobody knows. You could be the best fundamental trader in the world and you still don't know. You don't, right? There's probably some fundamental traders thinking I would argue my point, and good, right? I hope you would. But for me, it's not even worth thinking about, right? All I will consider, right? So because the conflict has created an increase in oil, an increase in the oil price, all I will say to myself is this, right? I won't predict what will happen. I will just react to what happens, right? I'm not, nobody knows enough about not even the policy makers themselves. I mean, how many times does the Fed get it wrong? Yeah, when it comes to cooling the economy or heating the economy up, they even get it wrong, right? So how can mere mortals like us even start to think we would know what's going to go on, right? We don't. But what we do know is this, right? And this is just dealing in facts, and that's it, right? That's your job, dealing data and facts, right? You know, every business on the planet right now, data is such big business, right? I've got a few guys that I know to work, you know, a few mates that work in the corporate world, you know, and they're constantly talking down the pub. It bores me to tears, right? As me talking about trading bores them to tears. But they're like, yeah, we spend a lot of money on big data. Yeah, you know, the data drives our business decisions, and you know which industry, you know, which markets we should try and penetrate, and which, you know, which middle class has the most disposable income. You know, all of these types of things can be generated from data, and make decisions on that, right? If Angola has a increasing middle class, right, with a large disposable income, enter that market, right, depending on your product. So I'm all for that. Yeah, I'm not going to predict, you know, the future of the political scene of Angola. I don't know, right? But the facts are there. I hope you're still with me, right? And that's how I operate, right? I deal in facts. Now, the fact of the matter is, oil, this is a very nice weekly support level. Let's just take a quick look at the weekly, right? This is a key weekly support level, right? And just look at those bullish candles at that level, right? Now, if we go to the day chart, knowing that if oil breaks through this level, right, and we get a candle like this, we now have higher highs, right? Higher lows, higher highs. And I will buy the living daylights out of that, right? I'll get a retrace into here and I'll look to buy oil. It's nice that, you know, the Middle East conflict may support that idea, but I really don't care, because the Middle East conflict is a very fluid, changing thing. There could be a ceasefire in a week. There could be more bombing. Who knows? Nobody knows, right? So trade what you see. Trade the facts of the chart. And these are the things I know, right? If price breaks this level, I'm buying oil, right? Fact, right? If oil breaks this level, we can expect strength in CAD pairs, right? And again, one of my trade ideas for today is pound Canadian dollar, and I want to sell it. Now, all I'm seeing is this, right? We have had a break of daily trend. We've had a break of this low. We stopped making higher highs. We now have lower lows. Now, whether that was created by a Canadian dollar interest rate, whether that was created by CPI, whether that was created by conflict in the Middle East that's led to an increase in oil price, it doesn't matter. I will trade it because the facts are it's in a downtrend. We have a very bearish candle and we have a bit of room to move into. And that's it, right? I wouldn't overcomplicate your trading, guys, especially if you're new to trading. You know, don't start thinking what could happen in the Middle East. What's Fed Chair Powell thinking about? You know, what will the head of the ECB do next month? Do not muddle your brain with all that stuff, right? Look at the chart, focus on understanding price action and trade accordingly, right? Now, obviously, this can go against you, right? Because my gold trade is a perfect example of this, right? So if we go to the H4, right, I started selling this gold, right? So it was in this H4 uptrend, and then it started breaking down. Price came up to this gray zone, and I started selling, right? And put my stop above this last swing high. Now, in here, there was some nice, sorry guys, go back to the H4, right? In here, we were, potentially starting to see some nice H1 candles, right? But because of that news in the Middle East, I cannot foresee that Israel's going to bomb Lebanon, right? Unless you're, high up in the military in that country, you're not going to know. And all flight to safeties just did this, bang, right? Gold shot up, yen shot up, Swiss franc shot up, and it just took my trade out. Now, I can't help that, right? I don't have enough time to react to that. It happened, bang, I'm knocked out of the trade, right? No problem. These things will happen from time to time. But that's not fundamental trading. That's something that's just happened and the market has reacted. All right. So, yeah, there's my couple of pence on that. Hope it helps. Right. What else are we looking at? Okay. So say it with Stone. Let's have a look at the dollar index. Right. So we'll take a look at the dollar index, and this is at a wonderful weekly level, right? Support, 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 right? This is key support for the dollar. And look at that psychological level of 100, right? Huge psychological level, the hugest, I would say, out of all of these and all of them below. That 100 is a huge psychological level. And it just so happens it's happening at a weekly support level. There's no coincidence, right? And then just look at the reaction we're getting with the dollar, right? Obviously, the news just out a minute ago was positive for the dollar as well. But just look at that weekly candle that obviously it hasn't finished forming, but look how bullish it is, guys, right? If we look at the day chart, yeah, if we break this last high here, yeah, because this is where we're at, right? If we break this last high here, then we have had a daily structure break on the dollar index, and I foresee dollar strength. Not foresee, wrong word. The facts tell me that we've had a break of a high and there's room to move into. So we can expect dollar strength, right? So yeah, that's what we're seeing. That's why I'm also interested in selling euro US dollar. Right, what else are we looking at? Rich Paul, what's up? How are you? Okay, we've got another question here. Before we do, guys, if I could just ask everyone to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Smash the notification button. And if everyone could please smash the like button. If you could smash it right now, guys, I'm going to have a quick drink of neat gin. Also, guys, if you haven't already, please come join our trading community, right? Trading can be a bit of a lonely place, so come join our community, come join our free Discord channel. You can speak to other traders, share knowledge, ideas. It's a happy place. If you want more than that and you want access to my trade signals, you want access to my strategies and tutorials, and you want direct access to me, then please come join our VIP Trading Academy. And right now, if you look above my head, if you sign up with Pepperstone, our preferred broker, then you will receive free access to the VIP. No brainer. Come join in the fun. Right, what else are we looking at? Right, scalper. Hello, buddy. Could you check gold? Yes, I can scalp a 420. You sound like a robot sent back in time to scalp. Gold. So, right. So this is, I'm going to show you this, right? So a couple of days ago, before all what went on in the world, right? It's terrible what's going on, right? We must say that it's terrible, right? But this bombing in Lebanon, right? So I was looking at a counter trend trade, right? I was seeing things very overbought or overextended here. We had a nice big bearish candle. And the idea was just to come back down to this support and potentially average 20, right? There's 600 was the target, right? And then if we look at the H4, right, I was just waiting for a retrace up into here, right? Moving average 20 comes down and we start selling. And that's exactly what I did, right? But a day later, let's come out now. Yeah, we have ended up with a bullish candle. But this is news driven, right? Gold is a safe haven or flight to safety commodity, and everything that happens, gold got strength. So now, for me, this has become a little bit skewed. It's not clear for me. A day ago, I wanted to sell it. This is news driven. I don't really want to buy it because also it's back at these highs as well, right? So I would need to see what kind of happens with today's candle, right? See what happens if we get a big bearish candle, looks something like this, right? I'm still keen on selling gold, right? But if it comes down into here, then I'm interested in buying gold, right? But I think there's room for a retrace. So right now, I don't have a trade because of this conflict that we've had between these two candles. But, if I get enough bearish signals, I would start selling gold. All right. And then basically everyone's going to buy the retrace. Yeah. So price comes up. Let's say price comes down to here, back at this last high, moving average 20. Then this becomes a very nice area to buy gold. So I would sell potentially from up here and I would buy from in here. So there you go. I hope that helps with gold scalper 420. So Shreyas, what is the purpose of NFP? Why exclude the farming industry? How different NFP is than the usual employment data? So Shreyas, again, I just wouldn't waste your energy or time in understanding that, right? So this is not me being lazy, right? I have I would say an okay grasp of fundamental trading, right, and a macroeconomic view, right? I've been doing this long enough to have a reasonable grasp of that kind of thing. But ironically, I don't want any of it entering my brain for me to make trading decisions because I have a bias. And I don't want a bias. I just want to trade facts, as I explained before. So all you need to know is NFP is going to dramatically move US dollar pairs. That's all you need to know about NFPs, right? And we have a new straddle strategy, right, in the VIP Trading Academy, and we can take advantage of those big moves that happen after the NFP. And that's all you need to know, right? Interest rate will, the Fed interest rate will move the US dollar, right? The pound CPI will move the pound, right? Or not, depending on the news and the data that comes out. Euro employment data will move the euro. That's all you need to know, okay? And then trade what the chart is telling you. Right, Rich Paul, which one advice could you give a beginner mostly? What's most important? So what was one piece of advice to give to a new trader? So there's not just one piece. I have lots to say. But the one piece of advice would be to understand price action, right? You know, understand trend and structure, understand how to plot support and resistance, understand how to read candlesticks, understand this concept of value, and apply those things to multiple time frames. So do a top-down approach, look at weekly, daily, H4. Yeah, that's probably the overriding piece of advice I would give. But I'd also say, look, you know, the thing with new traders is they want to trade. They want to be in the market all the time because they want to feel the market, right? And I get that. I'm the opposite. I don't want to be in the market. You know, no, let me rephrase that. I just want to be in 1 or 2 trades max at any one time, right? And, you know, I don't need to be in the market. So you really need to fight that as a new trader, right? You just want to trade. You're like, Tom, I've seen a setup, I'm buying it, I'm buying that. Right, I've seen another setup, I'm selling it. That's what you'll do. And then you'll just lose money, right? So have the patience to stay out of the market and just find high probability trades, right? So yeah, they're the couple of pieces of advice I would give. There's lots more advice, right? But you know, we've got about 8 minutes left. But yeah, ask me again next live stream, Rich Paul. Okay, so what else are we looking at here? Would NFP affect Gal Gadot? Now we're talking, right? That's what the most important question of today. How happy is Gal Gadot when the NFPs come out? And that's all you should care about, really. No, right? So, but every trade that I take, I think, what would Gal Gadot think of me? Oh dear, I don't think that. But yeah, we love Gal Gadot on this channel. McFlave, use a demo account. Yes, yeah, but okay. So McFlave is saying a piece of advice is to use a demo account as a new trader, right? And I 100% agree with this. But right, I have seen some excellent demo traders, right? Even on trading floors. On the trading floor I was on, they sort of trained some traders up. And I got talking to a couple of them, and they were like, "Oh, Tom, look at this! You know, I'm killing it. You know, this trading's easy on a demo account, right? You chuck $50,000 in their account, it's not so easy, right? Real money, it's difficult. Okay, so yes, learn on a demo account, but as part of your learning, you must feel money, right? You need to know what it's like to trade real money. Even if you trade like a mini lot, like 0.01 lot size, but at least you get used to real money, right? So that is also very important to do that early on, but obviously with not large amounts of money, right? Don't do that. Right, so Brett has probably a better answer than mine with regards to NFPs. So in short, farming is excluded to provide a more accurate and stable reflection of employment trends in the non-seasonal sectors of the economy. Thank you, Brett. That is a very nice answer. Yeah, so there you go, Shreyas. But again, who cares? Really? You know, now you know that piece of information. Is that going to help you trade NFPs? No. Is it going to help you trade Euro US dollar? No. Right. What else are we looking at? What else we got? Hi, Tyler. So the market went against me. Okay, so Ryan Cheng, we've got a question here. So welcome, Ryan. I don't recognize this name. Welcome to our live stream. Hi, Tom. If I enter a sell trade and the market went against me, and pick up my buy hedge, how do I decide when to exit the buy hedge? What do you usually do in this situation? Okay, so everyone knows that I use hedging, right? Instead of a stop loss, but it still protects you, right? Hedging is not a magic wand, but what hedging does allow you to do is this, right? This is how I trade it. So let's try and find an example. Right. Okay, here's a good example. Right. Let's say I was buying gold from this level, right? And it makes sense, yeah? Okay. So we're in a H4 uptrend, right? Price has come down, bounced off this level, and I started buying here. Right? Let's say my stop's below here. Okay. Makes sense, right? H4 uptrend, gold has been flying. We want to buy that trade. Okay, so let me just put my first buy in here. There's my buy, there's my stop loss. Okay, now we're expecting the market to come up and do this, right? Happy days. We're going to buy the Ferrari at Christmas. Okay, then the market does this. And you're like, why does the market hate me? It was a great setup. What's going on? The usual, right? Don't think like that. Yeah, just trade your setup. Okay. Now, if you was in a normal stop loss, right, you would be stopped out. Okay, which is also fine, right? As long as you follow your risk and money management. Okay. But what a hedge allows you to do is basically it's saying, once I get a new setup, let's say a H4 structure break, I can then close this stop loss. So all I'm looking for is another setup, right? If I will follow my trading plan in terms of my entry and I will buy, right? If that fails, I will then wait for the next entry to buy. Here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, so in this situation, right, this would be technically what, I wouldn't buy here. I'd wait for a retrace, but now we've had a H4 break again, right? This was breaking down, right? And now this has broke back up, breaking this high. So I would probably say to myself, right, if we get, because I want to put my new stop loss below here or my new hedge. So I would say, look, if we get a retrace towards the moving average 20, I would close this hedge, regardless if it's in profit or not. Sometimes the hedge will be in profit, sometimes it won't, right? So let's say I will close my buy hedge in here somewhere and put a new, I will close my sell hedge and put a new sell hedge in here, right? Let's see how this plays out. Right. Okay. I mean, would it have taken my buy? Maybe not. This definitely would have done, right? So I've now closed my sell hedge. My new sell hedge is here, right? And the view, I'm still with H4 trend. We want to take it up to here. Okay, there you go, right? And you would have made a nice profit on this trade, right? You would have taken this sell hedge out, put a new sell hedge down here, and then just carried on with your buy trade. Now, some hedges you won't be in profit. Some you will when you exit the hedge, right? You just have to keep trading your setup. Simple as that, right? Yeah, sorry guys, I've just seen the time. But so guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Don't forget to join me for the live stream, same time same time, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8 a.m. New York EST time. So come join us again for those. And also so tomorrow, come join us. I forget what day of the week is. Yeah, tomorrow, come join us for that. Also, don't forget to check out the free Discord channel that we've got and the VIP Trading Academy, because we've got a great promotion if you sign up with one of our preferred brokers. All right, guys, check it all out. It's all in the video description. Have a great trading day.